Hello everyone and welcome to Evolution of Test Drive Games. Test Drive is a racing video game, developed by Distinctive Software and released in 1987. The player chooses one of 5 supercars to drive on a winding cliffside to lane road, while avoiding traffic and outrunning police speed traps. The Duel Test Drive 2 was released in 1989. The focus of the Duel is driving exotic cars through dangerous highways, evading traffic, and trying to escape police pursuits. Test Drive 3. The Passion was released in 1990. The third game has the concept of a free landscape. The player does not have to drive on a preset course. Each section contains alternate routes and shortcuts for reaching the finish line. Test Drive Off-Road is a 1997 racing video game. Developed by Elite Systems for Windows and PS1, there are 2 different play modes: Class Racing, in which only vehicles of one type race, and Unlimited, in which all types of vehicles compete. Test Drive 4 was released in 1997. It offers 14 supercars and muscle cars, and tasks the player with beating computer opponents in tracks set in real-life locales. The game's tracks are long courses with rural roads and urban streets. Test Drive 5 is a 1998 racing video game developed by Pitbull. Syndicate for the PS1 and PC, the game iterates on its predecessor's gameplay, featuring illegal street racing, dodging traffic, and evading the police. Test Drive Off-Road 2, known in Europe as Test Drive for X4, is a 1998 cross-platform racing game in World Tour. The player goes through different tracks throughout the world and will win cups and money. The player can buy and sell vehicles. Test Drive 6 was released in 1999. The game featured 37 licensed cars plus 4 police car variants as a first for the series. Cars from General Motors are not playable in this game, instead they appear as traffic cars. Test Drive Off-Road 3 was released in 1999. 2 game modes are available: Arcade and World Tour, with an additional to players mode available on PlayStation only in World Tour. Players goes through different tracks throughout the world to win cups and money.
Moved up a place.
Test Drive Le Mans 24 Hours was released in 1999. Based on the famous 24 Hours of Le Mans race in France. The player is invited to race the entire 24-hour endurance course or take part in a simpler arcade mode. Test Drive Cycles is a racing video game, developed by American studio Xanter for Game Boy Color. The game has 24 tracks in 12 real-world locations with ramps to perform killer jumps. There are 35 licensed motorcycles. Test Drive 2001 is a racing video game, developed by American studios Antera and published by Infogrames exclusively for Game Boy Color. The game is more or less a sequel to the Game Boy Color version of Test Drive 6. Test Drive Off-Road Wide Open was released in 2001. Game focuses on off-road racing and utilizes 3-dimensional graphics. The player has a choice of off-road vehicles from manufacturers, such as Hummer, Jeep, Ford, and others. Test Drive Overdrive. The Brotherhood of Speed was released in 2002. TD Overdrive focused on illegal street racing, dodging traffic, and evading the police. It also featured real-life locations for its tracks: San Francisco, Tokyo, London, and Monte Carlo.
Will it be
Test Drive: Eve of Destruction is a 2004 racing video game. Developed by Monster Games, the game has many North American races that include a figure-8 race, Last Man Standing race, school bus races, demolition derby, and many more. Test Drive Unlimited is a 2006 racing video game. Developed by Eden Games, Unlimited serves as a reboot of the franchise. The game features over 125 licensed sports cars and motorcycles, and the terrain is modeled after the Hawaiian island of Oahu. Test Drive Unlimited 2 was released in 2011. Test Drive Unlimited 2 includes a variety of roads on the island of Oahu, which returns from the first game and the island of Ibiza. The game features 3 main vehicle categories, with each vehicle also belonging to a subcategory. Test Drive: Ferrari Racing Legends is a 2012 racing video game, developed by Slightly Mad Studios. Ferrari Racing Legends focuses on Ferrari's history across almost all of the racing disciplines, including Formula One rallying and sports car racing. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown is an upcoming racing video game, developed by KT Racing and published by Nakon. The game will feature a 1-to-1 recreation of Hong Kong Island. The road will be left-hand traffic Tokyo and London. There will be 550 kilometers of drivable roads.